Today, Rinpoche completed the section on generosity and showed how the practice of the six perfections is completely necessary in order to become a Buddha. Okay, so we in the English are in the section on generosity, and specifically page 372. The divisions of generosity. So 121, I believe, is where Rinpoche will begin today. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that's where we will begin today. The Ewa. The Nipa. Okay, so when we look at the various divisions of generosity, we'll see. Okay, so so everyone, this is Lobsang Samten. Lobsang Samten is actually the founder of the Chenrezig Tibetan Buddhist Center. He was making a short story, making a sand mandala at Trinity University, and a group of people were going there every day and saw the mandala and wanted to see Tibetan Buddhist meditation happen after the Trinity performance and after the mandala was made. So it started in people's houses, and eventually we ended up where we are today. And the reason with the connection with Rinpoche is Lobsang La was attendant to His Holiness the Dalai Lama when Rinpoche was at Abbot of Namgyal in India, and was Rinpoche's student. So that's how the connection was made, and very much longer story than that. Wasn't ready to give a history, but we're very, very grateful for everything that you did for us, Lobsang La. I don't know where I would be as a Buddhist. Lobsang is really the first master who really helped me and showed me how to learn about Buddhism. So really, we're all here today because of Venerable Lobsang La, and I can't express that enough. I really can't, and I just want to say thank you. The Juje, the Kon, the Tambo. Thank you so much. And today we're because of your help and everything you've done, today we're looking word by word at the great treatise on the stage of the path to enlightenment by Lama Tsongkhapa. And we've now gotten into the section on Mahayana, and we're in the divisions of generosity. So that's where I was at. So when we look at generosity, we can see that there are three different divisions. The gift of the teachings, the generosity or gift of fearlessness, and the generosity or gift of material things. So we've gone through the first two categories, the gift of the teachings or the generosity of the Dharma. We've gone through the generosity of fearlessness, and now we're going to begin today with the section on material gifts. So that will, again, on page 122 in the English, and at the bottom of 372 in the Tibetan. So when we look at the mind that aspires to enlightenment, we find that the importance of looking also at the six perfections, and the generosity being the first among the six perfections. So now we've arrived at the section on the generosity of material things. So again, bottom of page 122. When we divide material gifts or things into categories, we'll find that there are two. First, the generosity of actually giving material gifts or things, and the second category is the generosity which is just mental or only mental. So these are the two categories. Dison. Dene? Then Sanjin Ji de Dison. Kangala.
Tambo Sanjin ton yu tu de la jede no.
Lessa.
Quand la ton yu shin, quand ki ton yu samba, cheta ton yu joa, quand ton yu ngobo hos, o te Sanjin ton yu tu de la jede ke doa.
Lessa.
Quand la ton jimba quand la ton sa shin de quand gores.
Lessa.
Quand la ton yu shin. Quand ki ton yu samba, quand ki tu jimba ton de la samba quand gores.
Lessa.
Kulun quand gores samba. Cheta ton yu joa, jimba ton yu joa. Tene quand ton yu ngobos, ta jinja ngobo traba ta. Ngobo je.
Garite. Lessa.
Ta tombo la chure ndo quand la jimbi yu de la chure.
Lessa.
What you say doa.
Lessa.
Okay.
The Kanga, the Yure.
Yeah.
So Rinpoche is just, thus far, he's reading through the various divisions. So the first category, the generosity of actually giving material things, has three categories. First, how to give away material things. Second, what to do if you are unable to give. And third, relying on the remedies for the hindrances to generosity. And then the first category of how to give away material things has four categories: recipients of giving, the motivation for giving, how to give, and the things to give. And then the first category in that section we will find, which is the recipients of giving, we will find 10 categories. Less so? So I just missed, when we go back to how to give away material things, Rinpoche just gave we see the first is the recipients of giving. So who is the object of our generosity? The second, the motivation for giving. What are we thinking about? What is our reasoning for this generosity? How to give. And then, so in what way do we give, and then the things to give. So Rinpoche gave a short commentary on that fourth section, so I didn't want to miss that. Okay, Gongel Mepa Chig Rinpoche.
Tene neba shebe dache, nipa che, ta pene kaya ma je bama. Danye bama sondre doa. O te jimba tansa yu, chukunon tambu sondre, danye bama sondre doa. Tene chutin la subi yu ten chen dans, chutin la subi yu ten chen ki shin le ya, ane shin te jimba tansa yu res, chen dans. Tene chutin chewa la subi, chuen chen tasula kan la jimba tansa yu deres. Tene ran la mawa tang, nyamba tang, tene ran la toa song yu kuro wata, o tasu jimba tansa yu chotu wa deres. Tene akarsa, joshin ware laba tang, joshin jiba tang, riche, joshin jiba tang, doji pomba. Okay, so
this first category, the recipients of giving, has 10 different sections. So the first section is begins with the three categories. These three categories are categories that we refer to when we say friends, enemies, and neutrals. We have these three different divisions of types of beings that we look at times. So the first three categories are referring to those three. So friends and relatives who help you. Second, enemies who harm you. And third category, ordinary people who neither harm nor help you. So number 4. So those three are friends, enemies, and neutrals. And those are the objects of our generosity, the recipients of our generosity. Those with good qualities, such as ethical discipline. Those with flaws, such as faulty ethical discipline. Those inferior to you, those equal to you, those superior to you, those three. The rich and happy, and the miserable and destitute. So these are the 10 recipients of our generosity. Okay? Lesa. So when we look at Jayan Sheba's commentary and the 4 interwoven commentaries on the difficult points of the great treatise on the stage of the path to enlightenment, we find that he, in this section where there are 10 categories, there aren't any, there's just a point that is made that states that the object is all sentient beings. So all sentient beings are the object of our love, are the object of our compassion, so are really the recipients of our generosity. So when we look to who are these recipients, Jayan Sheba states all sentient beings are these recipients. So then we arrive at the familiarization with love and compassion for all sentient beings.
Shi samba chebar shi samba dan shedag samba ni re do shi samba de shedag samba ni je shi samba de chechu son de ja gu du tambo shi samba chebar son de dan shedag su su samba ni sa je ni ge na ne tambo shi samba chebar son de ja gu res shi samba chebar son de Shi samba cheba sonde jagure se tambo. Ta cheba sonde karere sana. Nibala nile samba chetabu tan dembe. Tongu ba ne.
The gonga mebichi charan the chidan shedrag.
The sachi didro sachi.
Sachi ni yure.
Kangi ton yu kangi tombi samba rawa. Samba de la shi samba tan shedrag samba ni. Ni jagadua shi samba de shirak samba ni shi samba cheba sonden res shi samba de cheba sonda de bagures cheba sonda kares nan leon kale leon
Ale the Jayan Sheba Delpa.
Ja jeba de lari cheba ko no do
the chapa yure the Lauren
samba la shi samba da shirak samba ni je shi samba cheba sonden res Tanyebala nile samba chetabu tan tempa gweba ne shi samba cheba sonde danima yungu yares dala tene lana mebe shanshu ji tu jimbi pashin zuba shawu nyaba
let's see what happened.
Gweba la meba dans songu nan tambu che ne jimba tan gweba karasana dala tene jimba tan dala tene lana mebe shanshu ji tu 네, 사실 그것도 소나고 소나 이거 소모 사고로 개발 참여 손도 소사고로 또 레드 와르바.
Okay.
maybe 샤주주 투.
Yes, sir.
네, 진비 파신 다 샤주고는 신조도 용도 그러 다 담배 진바 된 거로. Jimmy Pashin Zuba Shawu, Jimmy Pashin Zuba Shawu Nyaba, Guba Laza, Jim Sentient tantric Zuba Sanji Gung Tubasha, Di Cheto, Jimmy Pashin Zuba Shawu Nyaba Salo Gugres, Sondeng Tamadin said. Nyaba Guba La, Miba Tamaje, Tamanen Shanchu Sembi, Duba Tanji Sentient La Tan Sembe. Ne Jua Lamba Tar Tong Shayu Rangi Zela Rangi Zela Jenji no Nyabatans Nyabi Ngobula Mibatan Nibadi inside.
Okay, this Gurumche.
Yeah.
Indicate the Chi than Shidar. Okay. So now we've completed the section on the recipients of giving, or the objects of our generosity. The next section is the motivation. So we get into what is mentally happening. What are we thinking mentally about when this generosity is taking place? So in Jayan Sheba's commentary, it's divided into two categories of general and specific. General and specific motivations. And then looking at the great treatise on the stage of the path to enlightenment, we find two categories also, but they're slightly different. The motivation for giving has two sections. What kind of motivation is required? What kind of motivation must be eliminated? So the first category, what kind of motivation is required, will have three categories. I'll begin reading. Again, bottom of 123. What kind of motivation is required? Your motivation should have three attributes. A focus on purpose, which thinks, based on this, I will complete the perfection of generosity, a precondition for unexcelled enlightenment. So in order to achieve unexcelled enlightenment, which is Buddhahood, it's necessary to have the two collections, the collection of exalted wisdom and the collection of merit. These two collections are necessary, and the perfection of generosity would fall under the perfections. These two categories we find the six perfections necessary or part of. So the perfection of generosity is necessary in order to become a Buddha. So it's saying it's a precondition for unexcelled enlightenment. So the six perfections are preconditions for becoming a Buddha. Therefore, the generosity is a precondition for being a Buddha. So our focus, our motivation at this point, the way we're thinking is that I will perfect this generosity so that I can become a Buddha for the sake of sentient beings. It's a precondition for enlightenment. So this is this first category, which is the focus on the reason for doing it. The purpose for doing it is because it's a precondition for unexcelled enlightenment, because it categorically falls among the two collections necessary to become Buddha. So this is the first category. Second category, a focus on the thing to be given, which thinks from the outset a bodhisattva gives away all possessions to living beings. So the material goods that I am giving belong to others, and it is as if they are receiving things kept in trust. And then they nipa la son. The ewa son, the tambo la son, nipa la son.
That's one about the marva. Long you seen on loss, and long Malone, and the Jala goes long get on Manokan, Nickel seen on la. That doesn't dagi, Jimmy Passion Zuba Shibi, dagi, she in some Bazan Tangores. Jala Hankan in and Malankan in and or to Sukalo, dagi, Jimmy Passion Zuba Shibi, Nagi, she so happy. The Saltan Hores.
The Dane Parmasum Jade Salodang Shinyan.
Daniel Sanada, Malon Segundo. Malcala Terugis and Hankan, Malankan, Karin, the Chevi Mares, Huanta Malon, Shina La, Salukan Tangurasana, the Dagi, Jimmy Passion Zubi, Zuba Shebe, Dagi Shine, Dagi Shine, so and Saltan Hores.
Lesser.
Hamba Shin la mi ba de.
Lesso.
Samba son da den ba gue de son de ren doa.
Lesso.
Su son du son pa shin du ba le son dos. Pa shin du ba de le ba ba yu pa shin du ba de na ka ri na ko ma re. Pa shin du ba le. Huang ngo do wonas. Da jin ba tang ru ji sen de hong gen ngo su yong ba yin na wona. An jie shi shang ju sen ba de. Zui bi shang ju zu ne bi shi re. Zui bi shang ju zu ne bi shi re. De jen du shi da la ja shi ne. Gi shi yen du shi de la jis. Da gi shi yen wo nya ba da ma de kong de wo de ren do wa. Pa shin du ba le. Huang ngo do wo na sa nga le shen ba tang ru ji se. Ka da du yong ba yin na. An jie shi shang ju sen ba de ge. De shang ju sen ba shi ja jin yong go ro wa. Jie shi shang ju sen ba de. Zui bi shang ju zu ne bi shi re se. Zui bi shang ju go bong to ba la. An sui na gu zu ne shi zu sa gu ro. Zu de ya bi gu ro da. Bi shi re. De jen du shi da la ja shi ne se. De jen du shi da la ja shi ne. Gi shi yen du shi de la jis. Huang ba de lo ba de gi shi yen du shi ja wu re se de. Jie so se. Wo de ba ka le ju ne ya.
Okay, and now we move on to number 3, focus on the recipient, which thinks, since these recipients, whether asking for the gift or not, bring to the completion my perfection of generosity, they are my teachers. So when we look at the object of our generosity, and when we engage in that generosity, the object of our generosity becomes part of our causes for becoming Buddhas. So it bring to the completion my perfection of generosity. So when we engage in this giving, whether the recipient has asked for it or not, we are adding to this collection that is necessary to become a Buddha. So we look at the recipients as if they are our teachers because they are aiding us in our quest or our goal to become a Buddha, to perfect that generosity. So the recipients, it says it doesn't matter whether they've asked for it or not, they become part of that process. So we look at them as they are our teachers. So when we observe them, when we think about this, this should be and this is the third attribute of our mind, what we're thinking about. So where do we find this? Rinpoche said in the Compendium of Perfections, he believes is Arya Shura's text, Lobun Bao, and it says that the Compendium of Perfection states, when someone comes to ask for something, bodhisattvas, so to build up preconditions for complete enlightenment, consider what they have as belonging to others, give it as from a trust, and consider the person their teacher. So here, in the prior it says whether they ask or not. Here it's saying when someone comes to ask for something, the bodhisattva sees that if he or she engages in the generosity, he or she is gathering up among the two collections that are necessary to become a Buddha, the collection of exalted wisdom and the collection of merit. And when I say among, it means one of the two. When I translate it as among, any among, it just means it could be among the six. So just as a translator's note, when we look at generosity, we know that in its raw form, it's among the collection of merit. But that's why I'm using the word among, because it does that perfection falls under that category. But Rinpoche is saying using the two collections as the precondition for becoming Buddha but I'm using the word among because it doesn't fall into both of those. So I want to make sure there's not a confusion with the way I'm translating it, because there is none from Rinpoche's side. So when someone asks to give something, bodhisattvas, so as to build up the preconditions for complete enlightenment. So preconditions, the collections of exalted wisdom and collection of merit. So among those, the generosity falls under. And consider what they have as belonging to others, give it as from a trust, and consider the person their teacher. De shentu, de shetala, shad je shing, gewe shinyen du. Then the ngokang dan jar. Then the shanchu semba. Then chala the sentient la tena. Then the sanlo gare. The I just want a clarity on what this. Consider what they have as belonging to others. Give it from a trust. I just wanted Rinpoche to clarify that. De long Rinpoche. The parshin duba long. The shanchu semba. Lesso. Lesso.
Shanchu sembe sanlu te kogu yares. Zubi shanchu tune bi sheres.
Lesso.
Tijen dushi dala jashe ne.
Yeah.
Wadi lonke te Geshe yin san ja ures. Geshe ne. Jimbe pashin zuba shebe. Geshe yin san sanlu tan jimba tan ures. Geshe yin dushi te Geshe dushi tela ches, on the longa de la Geshe dushi dushi chegures, chesos.
The shanchu semba, the chala nge chala yomare, then the ngokan dandrar, the injike, the then don't.
That is the shanchu sembe chala ngal jen huesabarota.
Lesso.
Was jemba the jen jashabat, still never land jemba.
So when the bodhisattva is engaging in this generosity, he's as if he is holding on to these items for the person and distributing them, giving them to the person. It is like a trust, so in the form of a trust. I was curious if there was trust in Tibetan, that word, because it's such a new word and it's in Lama Tsongkhapa's text, so I just want to make sure that's what it means, but it does that. It's holding on to that item for the person and then giving it to them. So dig some Rinpoche, go in Michi.
Tanya ba sheda susu sa do what ne te yungu do. Sambala ni tombo shin ju susu samba shetemba ne. Anen hashi ba. What the Hashi was what the Woolias teeny but in Guldua. Hashi be Shila maybe Sambane, Hashi be Shila maybe Sambane, that's Sijan Jubu or Jubutege, tell maybe Sambane, Tangela Shagubes, she is somebody in Lhasa.
Lesser.
What is wrong with
Lesser. So here we do find the general and specific pointed out. In the commentary at Lama Tsongkhapa's later as we read on. So with respect to giving away, I just want to catch up. So then that was the quote by Arya Shura. With respect to giving away individual things, understand in detail from the questions of Sabahu Sutra and the Compendium of the Perfections, your motivation focus on purpose, which is the thought, I will give this away for this or for that purpose. As to your motivations focus on the recipient explained above, you should apply it to all situations of generosity, so it is the general motivation. And now we'll get into the specific motivation. So going back to it translated before in Jayan Sheba's commentary, states that there are two categories, general and specifics, and then now we see that Lama Tsongkhapa has stated that that previous is referring to general, and now we move forward with specifics. So I just wanted to clarify from before if I didn't make sense. Desam Rinpoche.
Oje tatane.
Shitsar.
Oto tsaro, shi samba tsaro. Tani ba shida se dro.
Okay.
Ne.
Selbujaso.
No da. Ta shida se dro. Shida susula ni les. Tombo ngobo rewa toas. Ngobo rewa toa. Ni ba shin susula samba nis saji ni. Tombo shinju susu samba shitemba. Shin susu samba shitemba ne. Khasheba taraso. Khasheba dosamandu. Khasheba sun dosazwa. Khashebe shinla subi samba tangje ne. Tangje la shagwebe. Shi samba yinla. Senje tangje la samba tanggoba yinza. Ano kutel shi samba logres. Shi samba yinla.
So, so Rinpoche just wanted to bring us up to where we are with specific, and just read maybe the last line or so. So with it's kind of a run-on. I'm just going to read this whole thing. With respect to giving away individual things, I'm reading just a little more than he did. Understand in detail from the questions of Sabahu Sutra and the Compendium of Perfections, your motivations focus on purpose, which is the thought, I will give this away for this or for that purpose. As to your motivations focus on the recipient explained above, you should apply it to all situations of generosity. So it is the general motivation.
Samba shirabane, naba shivita, data nye susu santang na shirabas kunuguru marwa. Ne, samba shirabane, data nye tang, susu santang yudu, shiraba, samba shirabane, naba shiba la, nyojigi dala, shambi sen kungur shamba. Dawatna dena nyabi shamba, shambi sen kungures. Tene dungen jen la, hinji kungures. Dungen dena nyabi hinji kungures. Hinji. Rani dungen dena nyabi samba te nganjuga samba. Jen dungen dena nyabi samba hinji. Rangi deni sen, mulan dena mamina jenji dena kalaches. Rantin tu dungen dena nyabi sanlu de meba ina, jen mebi hinji de yungumares. Rantin tu nganjuga samba te yueba ina, jen la mebi hinji chigres. What do you lead in Samarba?
So now we will get into the specific. So before we got in, we went over the general overview. Now we are getting into the specifics. So when we look at individuals, for instance, or recipients, we look at the specific ones. So specific friends, specific enemies, etc. So, for instance, when we establish, we establish these varying attitudes in relation to these specific beings. So we wish that sentient beings had happiness and the causes of happiness, and this is a motivation and meditation upon love, and wish that they are free from suffering and the causes of suffering. This is a motivation of compassion for these sentient beings. But it's necessary for us first to establish our own suffering and desire for happiness in order for us to wish to establish others in that place. Because if we haven't ourselves recognized our own plight, then it would be impossible for us to think of others. So we first, in order as a precondition for this arisal of love and compassion, which has as its object of observation these sentient beings, and specific sentient beings in this case, of friends and enemies, specific people. We have to have our own renunciation, our own desire to definitely emerge as a precondition, which will then allow us to turn towards others. Rinpoche, Charan long dansong, the Shunju long, the long gari dansong, Charan. The Rangi, do you remember he quoted something? Okay, so I thought it was from the So we find in the Bodhichara Avatara, Shantideva's Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, or Engaging in the Bodhisattva Deeds, a quote that says, roughly translated, if we haven't considered our own plight or our own suffering, how could we even dream of freeing others from their suffering? Something to this effect. How could we even dream of this if we haven't thought of our own? So similarly, if we wish to have this motivation of love and compassion for sentient beings, we have to first look at our own happiness and suffering. So that's from Shunju, from the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. So now we'll get into the specific motivations. Okay. Samba Chepa.
Somba Tanji Pashin Duba Tarer, Santunes, Shinala said the Pashin Duba Santu to what the gentleman within what the Tangan was on the ta. And then Pashin Duba Somba Naji, Santan with Sude, Shinala answer what the Nima Tangan was at ta. Shinala Senyoba Shagwish, Shinal, that Danya Bamason with the Senyoba Guru, that Dadany, Tanyu Guru, Senyoba Drugurus, Yoba Shashin, Shinala, Senyoba Shagwishins, Danya Bamason with the Tanyu Gurus, Senyoba Gushagwishins.
Okay, near the logo.
Yeah.
Yun then.
Yeah.
Leilaj. Okay, so specific motivations, on page 124 where it says 374 there. Specific motivations would be when you make a gift to those who harm you, once you have established a loving attitude through those who suffer, once you have established a compassionate attitude to those who have good qualities, once you have established an attitude of delight, and to those who help you, once you have established an impartial attitude. So here it's showing the preconditions for each of these. And if we look at the precondition for love and compassion, we find this danyom, which is equanimity, this basis of neutrality. So in order for us to move forward with love and compassion, it's necessary for us to first begin with equanimity towards all sentient beings. So this impartiality, this neutrality towards all sentient beings. So this word impartial attitude is what we have in our prayer book as equanimity. It's just another way to translate it, just if anyone's looking to specific words.
Shinala, Senyoba Shagwish, Danya Bamasomodel, Senyoba, Tanung Gures, Noba Shagwishi, Jimba Tanyuki, Debayans, Jimba Tangi in the Kasa, Jimmy Lonshe Tingy de, Jimba Tangi in the Lonshe Shivayungrisa, Jimba Tang Debut Lonshe Dungu Marwa, and Jimba Tanyu gained Debayans, gained Debu Lonshe Tayan, Huambola so. Huambola Subi, Sijanala Thomas, and Jimba Jimbatan Debo, Lonshe Tayan, Huambol Jimbatan Gures, that's on two semis all over.
So then, moreover, you must be even-minded toward all recipients, give away to living beings, such as those who ask, and so forth, all the virtuous results of giving, and in particular be compassionate to those recipients who are suffering. Okay, Dig-san.
So
we established even-mindedness, equanimity towards all friends, enemies, and neutrals, so to all living beings.
Jimbi Drebayan, the Water Humble Town Waters, Drebayan, Humble Subi, Sijala Tua dance, and then Jibata Jibatan Waters, Takasan the Guru, Tua dance, Chebrato, Dugan Shila, Sawasha, Dungaji, Sijetu Sukangalo, Sawagungu, Dungan the Tenanabe, Sawasha des. Dunga senjena la dunga ta tena nyabe dunga ju dunga chaban ju dunga ta tena nyabe ne heji gungures so shate paden da ta lu ta mo do ta
so all the virtuous, so I'll just read this again. Moreover, you must be even-minded toward all recipients, friends, enemies, and neutrals. Give away to living beings, such as those who ask and so forth. All the virtuous results of giving, and in particular, so those who ask and those who don't. And all the virtuous results of giving, and in particular, to be compassionate to those recipients who are suffering from the various types of suffering, such as the three sufferings, the suffering of change, and the pervasive compounded suffering.
And then
we have a quote from Chandrakirti coming from the entrance to the middle way.
Jingan Sana Tanja was Jima Sana Tanja Le Longe to the Sana Yuena and Jima Tantu Maro. Le Longe to the Sana the Tewajugures, Jingan Sana Tanja wa. Herton, Hemin, Heldona, Hemiban Donna, Nedala, Herton, Hemi Dedala, Yabar Sanju, Dedala. I'm looking
at the wrong one.
Jinde, Jimbapoleta, Ziyu Jindan, Jimbinde, Niega Jicha, Duenela, Don Yu Jingan, Sename, Dene, Tambanaji, Han, Jebadans. Takante, Tunda Tereno, Takante, Jimbatan Gures, Le Longe Jimbatan, Jimbin Jebetan, and then Huamba Jingures, Tunda do the letter doa.
The Yanjasuran, the Jimby Depo, Huampo, guys,
Jimbatan, Jimbatan, Jimmy Debun, the Longe Yungumarba. Jimbatan, Jimmy Debun Longe, Jimbatan Gures.
Okay, so the quote from Chandrakirti says, once the giving, I'll read the quote and then go back. There's this very short commentary is given. Once the giving is free from stinginess, the giver must compassionately make gifts which are given equally with an even-mindedness to those who are superior or inferior recipients. The results of such giving go to both self and other at the same time. Holy beings praise this giving without stinginess to those who seek gifts. So once the giving is free from stinginess, if we have miserliness or stinginess related to our enjoyments or our wealth, long shu, so wealth or enjoyments, if we are miserly in relation to those things, we will not be able to develop generosity. So we have to free ourselves from miserliness in order to engage in generosity, because it's an obstacle to generosity. The giver must compassionately make gifts which are given equally with even-mindedness, so with an equanimity to those who are superior and inferior inferior recipients. So the results of such giving. So giving produces the enjoyment. So we see Jimbi Lonshu. So from the generosity comes the enjoyments, or comes wealth. So the results of such giving are the enjoyments. So in order for us to let me see, result of generosity is the enjoyment. So we can't, I flip it around. So if we become miserly in relation to these enjoyments, it becomes an obstacle to our generosity. So we rid ourselves of miserliness and then give with even-mindedness to all beings. Dene? The Jepo?
Then
Rinpoche, the Dondagare, the Shaloka Tambo, the Detslas, Shaloka Nipa, the Delpa Lama, son. Chudel. Donda Lason.
Jingosana Tandewa. Jingosana Jimbaton. Le Longe Jimbaton, the Sena Megur, Sena Yun Tantumaro. Jingosana Tandewa. Le Longe Jimbaton, Le Longe, Sena the Tawajugures.
Lason.
Don't hear me the Dallas. Don't get you know my was going to hear me the Dalla. Nyabra send be down use. Down you send your big one is about on wood as it was.
Lesser.
I will don't you. J'ai de Jimba Polita. J'ai de Jimba Polita. C'est Jindan. Jimbin J. C'est Jindan. Le Longe, on peut say you're going to Jimbatan Wures. Jibutan, then the Humble Jimbatan Wures. C'est Jindan, Jimbin J. Nikan, teacher, Tony Las, quand la tonsa eu de temps Wures. Ton yu Jinkan, Saname, Jimbatan, le Saname, but you Wures. Then Tabana Jinha, what did I be Jimbatan? And then Jimbatan, Jibutan, then Tangan, Jibutan was doing Haju Muores, then Tabana Jinha, Shebatans. You then tell you to about legends, you then tell you to about Jidua, you then tell you to about legend. Kaji Joa Medans, Pumbari, Sunday Tonaya, Cement Debe, and Hurjin, you then Tadan. Then Chua, Sala then the Jimba Shejan, from Tatan, Sonsu She, Dele Chune, Tuji Lua Nala, Jimba, Jela Ju, Jesus, what about the Jisanudua?
Okay, so going back to the top, Chandrakirti from the entrance to the middle way says, once the giving is free from stinginess, the giver must compassionately make gifts. So the giver, the person who is giving, compassionately makes gifts. So here, gives away his or her enjoyments. So stinginess is an obstacle to generosity. So if one is stingy in relation to one's enjoyments, then one won't be able to engage in generosity. So one first gets rid of the stinginess in relation to these objects, and then gives them compassionately. And it says, which are given equally with even-mindedness to those who are superior or inferior recipients. So the mental state at this time is of neutrality, is of equanimity in relation to the recipients, and in relation to the giving itself. So there is an equanimity in relation to what's given and what is given and who that is given to. The results of such giving giving produces the enjoyment. So it says go to both self and other at the same time. So one is engaging in generosity and aiding the person one is being generous to, but simultaneously collecting the cause for the future enjoyments. So here, while one is engaging in generosity, there is a simultaneous benefit that is taking place. Holy beings praise this giving without stinginess to those who seek gifts. And then we find in the praise of infinite qualities, it states, so there are many, many qualities, infinite number of qualities of this. So it says, even when some see a hopeful person who is destitute and of low birth, they do not care and out of desire for results seek other recipients who have good qualities. They have a base motive. Though givers, they are the same as those asking for gifts. You, Buddha said, hence you remain committed out of compassion to giving to those who ask. Decent. You just read it.
That's Samba Chendrawa, Samba Chendrawa, Pongo, but the one Jajibe, and then Sajin Saji Juji, Saji Juji, Juji Denmakale, Juji.
11. Okay.
11.
So next we get into kind of motivation. What kind of motivation must be eliminated? So Jayan Sheba's commentary states there are 11 points that are made within this section.
What the Saji Juji do? Samba Jendawa, Pomba Guba Las, Saji Juji, 11. That Tomba the shows and a Tangan children be Samba Mebanes, or the Tomba today. Then Jaji be doing what the Jenda Pachatum daughter. Tangan children be Samba Mebanes, Tangan children be the Tangan Tong about Takas Luta Tata to Zinjirota. Then Tangan children, Tong about children, Tawa choosing Siro, Tawa choosing. Tawa choosing to choose. Tanyu to the Nini show what then Tanyu to Marba. To the Rasma.
Lesser.
Tangan Chudu, the Samba Meban, Tangan Chudu. Tawang about Lutala Soba, Chuma Imbala Chudun, Samba the Maba Gugures, Samba Mebane, and Zimbala, Debu Mento, and Habadans. Zimbatan Chuyo Maratin, Zimbaltan Debuka Mares, and the what in the location Uzirota. Zimbal and Debu Mento Habadans. Then Nursi Jimbe, Chusun Jurin Habadans. Jella never jail what in the Jimbaina, and then Chuyins location waters, Chusun Jurin Habad, Jella. Never. Jimbalan Debu Metunyaba, Tangan to Swinjirota, Jimbalan Debu Mares, Jimbatan Debu Metunyaba dance, Tangan Gigi, Nursi Jimbis, the Sukanda in the Chenrezig and the Ai, Jen Sujuyag. Nursi Jimbi, Chusu during Hamba dance, Nursi Jimbatunga Chudes, Hambatan. Geshe Lharampa Jade Jimbatan Geshe Lharampa Jade Jimbatan Jimba Zuba Tanji Jiden Jiden Debi Chade Dunjuro Hane Mejimba was Hambatan Geshe Lharampa Jades Geshe Lharampa Jade Jimba Jimba dans le sud de Jimendroa. Le long chez Jimba tendu, c'est tombé contre. Tu que non tombeau.
Then Rinpoche, the Lamotson Kappa, the Ewa Dun. Then the Kakare, the Giant Sheba Juchi. Then the Jawa Ire Yomare.
Jaji, Samba Gender was Pongubas. Ponguba, the Wadam Juchi, the Nama, Jedam Gender Ponage and Juji Jayon.
So this section's a little bit difficult, and you don't really find an explanation in other sources than in Jamyang Sheba's commentary on this particular section. So we'll do our best. I mean, I'll do my best here. Let's see. There will be 11 categories, and this is the first category. I'm just going to read through this. Number one, a motivation that believes in the supremacy of bad views. When we look at the root afflictions, there are 6 root afflictions: desire, anger, pride, ignorance, doubt, and afflicted view. Afflicted view is what we're speaking of here, and specifically the kind of afflicted view is the conception of bad ethics and modes of conduct as supreme. So we see that here this is speaking of just specifically wrong or perverse view. So one of the two, luta, or the conception of bad modes of conduct as supreme. So here it says that a motivation that believes in the supremacy of bad views, believing that wrong views are the actual supreme view. And again, among the 6 root afflictions, it's the 6th root affliction, and called afflicted view. And then within afflicted view, there are also, I believe, 5 categories within it. Rinpoche said the conception of bad ethics and modes of conduct, as well as perverse view. He listed those 2 as examples. So a motivation that believes in the supremacy of bad views. Lacking this means that you do not give while thinking there is no result from generosity. Harmful blood offerings are religious. I am giving as I apply myself to what is good and beneficial. Or through just the completion of generosity alone, I will be free of mundane and super mundane attachment. Worldly and super mundane, out of worldly attachments. So these are the wrong views that can be cultivated in relation to giving.
다 상바 지다부 봉바 전도하지 봉고 받을 주지가 나는 담부 땅에 주도 집이 상바 매바 담부래도와 땅에 주도 집이 상바 매바네 짐바당ala 땅에 쇼서는 짐바당ala 제부 매도냐고 상로데 땅에 차지레스 짐바당ala 제부 매도냐바 당스 뇌지 짐베스 추순주로스 얘는 너바지야가 잘라던 짐바이나 The
Yandrasuna, the Nupa, the Yandrasuna.
Jimbalan debu medu nyaba dans, Jimbalan debu messed lava in a tongue and baroa. Jimbalan debu yodruta, Jimmy Lonshes, Jimbalan debu medu nyaba the tongue is, the pongures.
So when we look at the results of giving, we find the results of giving are the enjoyments or wealth, but this is not. This does not produce that. So these bad views are actually harmful to that. So they make it so that it doesn't produce that enjoyment. So it counteracts that. It becomes not generosity when these bad views are combined. So that was the first category about giving things, and if thinking that something that's harmed. Rinpoche said something about harming. If it harms others, but I'm still giving, then this is the wrong view attached to it. Something I missed something. I apologize. Rinpoche. I don't want to keep asking and then redirect it because it's not something that was written down. Loa po la niepa.
Oh, the
Nipa?
ah,
The Nipa?
the tombi con the tombi con the tombi more. Geshe Lharampa Tashi Tang Jade Jimba Tang Jimba Zuba Tang Jiden Tang Jiden Tibi Chadres Docha Pomba Kasa Nyumu Pomba Jodagre Nyane and Jimba Madankin Juares, the Tangeres Nyane Majimba was what about Tombre?
Then, Nipa?
Nipa Kimbi sent and Kimbi Samba Mabot and the Leone.
The Laran Chenmo, the Lonwapo?
Nipa Kimbi Samba Mabane, Lonpola, Hembatan, Jela Drembatan, Shine Jan, Dala, Tompa Yinje, Jen Tatamino, she Ronsensu Majeba was what about the neighbor?
Okay. Okay, so it's this number 2 will be the number 2 that is here. A motivation that is arrogant.
Kibi Samba Mebane, Naje. Kibi Samba Mebane, Huambala, and Jala Jimatansa, Huambutele, and Yemen, and Sudan Tantanajede, what the Tesore. Huambala and Hembatan, and the Jelan Dembata, Kujimbatang, the Najimbatang, Yinabatan. Then Shine Jan, Dan Topeba, Yinjis, and the Jimbatan and Nabe Jimbat. Tuveba Jachabi Kaza, Tuveba Shibutan radio arrest, Watan Law arrest, Tuveba Yinjis, Jen Tatamayinos, Jen Yemeje Warota, Tatamayinoshe, Lonsenso Majeba was, Tabadini.
Bless you. Motivation that is arrogant. This word for arrogant, Rinpoche, is similar to pride, Namgyal. So the pride, a motivation that is of pride or that is arrogant. Lacking this means that you do not despise the person who asks for something. You do not compete with others, and after you give something, you do not conceitedly think, I'm so generous, no one else can do like this. So you shouldn't have the thought that no one can be as generous as me, or my generosity is the highest generosity, or the best type of generosity, others is inferior. So this motivation is a motivation of arrogance, and this needs to be abandoned. That there is no competition, that you don't develop anger when someone asks you for something, or dislike the person, and then you don't engage in competition with others, or think that yours is the best giving and others isn't compete with your type of giving. So this is number 2, Digsung Rinpoche.
Shedang maybe don't swing, Shedang maybe. Shedang da control Shedang maybe don't swing. Then when you raise it, Leji Diba Naba Tabindo Legends, Doji Dangdua, Leji Diba Naba Tabindo Legend, Susu Nam. Susu Nang, Jimbaton Yu Tse, Susu Nang, Jimbaton Yu Tse, Sanajan Nala, Medeba Shijin, Sanajan Nala Medeba Shijin, Dejan, Kondujene, Nyawandu, Jimbala, Diba Sombatans, Jimbala Diba Sombatans. Chudin Song Yu Tseyan, Chuchi Yu, Henba Mhebe, Chuchi La, Menyeba Mhebe, Chu Mabu Madeba Shejin, and Madeba De, the Gandu Tonga Tans, Zebala Subi, Nene, Tedaki Metun Shula, Nebala, Mahaba Jebe, Shooting la subi dribawu, she dos, whatever somba deswa. Somba leji driba nabata doji dango do jermashi. Leji driba nabata do lejan, suzu nam. Jembaton yu se, suzu na jembaton yu se, suzu tsuke, na jembaton suzu suna, palama tuki ngazata la suzu la graba. Palang tu sakin ngazata papa. Lama tuba sosu juun de dos, sosu ju gajina, papi chu ma tuba os, zue tang, suben papa tume, kundu kanga nuye de marbe, sosu ju gajina, papi chu ma tuba o, sosu ju garisha kurusina, pala ma tuke gaza dele, sosu ju la gres, Lama tuba sosu juun de, pala ma tuba dele, sosu ju se gres, Lama tuba sosu juun de zue roa. 소수 주고 가시는 밥이 좀 와도 보고 밥아 두면 동의 선나 소수 주고 나 심바 동의 체 선나 제나라 메데바 시신스 선나 제도 줄드는 마데바 시고레스 대장 마데바 시도 공부를 하고서 왜저러다 대장 공부 제네 녀와 동의 Jimbala Jiba Somba dance, what the Kuleting the Lingaba San Saba Inza, who knew one do this. Jimbala, what they get Jimba don't la Jiba Shigares, Jiba Somba dance, Chudin Son Che, Chuchela, Maneba Chudin on Chuchis Loma, Chuchi. Then Chutin Rajin Chuchi Damashanzeva, Turinzilla Kutusan also, Jindon de Auto Sundazel no Chuchi. Chutin Dabajiga, what in the Tanganju Saro. Chutin Son Tseang. Chuchi La, Maneba, Susu Chutin Son, that Chutin Chicken to Chusu Dujari, Chutin Son was what in Lana, Neabmares. Chuchi La, Maneba, Mebe, Jumo. Manyaba the Laba Inza, Mumma Madeba Chenrezig, Medeba Shejin, Madeba de Gandutuans, Madeba Delatin and Son Chenrezig, Zebala Subi, Nene, the Dakim Metinshula, Zebil will shoot the Maraba, contrary the Maraba control, Metinshula Neba La, Mahaba Jebe, Chutin la soba la diba os, sheshe to osa. Zeba la soba la nene, tedaka medun shula neba la. Takante susu zeba gong, ne jenda zeba mogon kensul doja resi laba ina. Ane chutin songa la diba di nagre esere da. Sheshe to oteba to
So, Rinpoche, the Garishane Charan the Zu Laso. Gangisana the Dole and the
Suzu says, Suzu Shedro. Suzu Gajana, Papichu Matuba was Lubin Babatumelo, Babatume. Suzu Gajana, Papichu Matuba was really Lamatuba, Suzu June the dos. Suzu Jews against the Gare, Papas and the Gares, Tiba Ina with Logorota. Suzu Jews against there. Palama token Kaza de la Susu Logres, Lama Tuba Susi Ju the dos, what the shade that.
Then the Papa Tome, ne.
Papa Tome,
Dangzu,
Papichuma, Suju Gashina, Papichuma Tuba was.
Okay.
Suju shows and Palama token Kaza de res.
Okay, so now we move on to number 3. And there's quite a bit in this. The Purification of Obscurations of Karma Sutra explains that when ordinary beings make gifts, they lose faith in those who are stingy, on account of which they get angry and are reborn in a hell. So it is said that this obstructs generosity. When these ordinary persons observe ethical discipline, they speak unflatteringly of those whose ethical discipline is faulty, so they lose faith in many living beings and fall into miserable realms on account of their loss of faith. And when these ordinary people maintain patience and the like, they speak disparagingly of those who do the opposite of these, and so obstruct their own ethical discipline, and so forth. So here, this is referring to, first of all, ordinary beings. What is the difference between an ordinary being and a superior being? An ordinary being is a being who has not yet achieved the path of seeing, who has not perceived reality. A superior being is one who has seen emptiness, reached the path of seeing, and beyond. So this is what the line of the differentiation is between ordinary beings and superior beings. Ordinary beings have not reached the path of seeing, whereas superior beings have reached the path of seeing. So this is the differentiation, and we find in Asanga's texts where he states that the qualification of a superior is reaching the path of seeing. An ordinary being is one who has not achieved that seeing. An ordinary being is one who has not achieved this path, this seeing, so achieved that realization of seeing. So it's saying here, going back to the text, it's saying that those ordinary beings, it's very easy when they, for them to have contamination mixed with their engagement of, for instance, generosity, or when they observe ethical discipline. So when they observe generosity, they have it mixed with anger and so forth about the recipients and the qualities and so forth. So then this, it's saying, becomes a cause for being reborn in hell. So it's said that this kind of even if you're being generous, but then you are having this negative emotion in relation to that generosity, it becomes a cause for rebirth in the lower realms and becomes an obstacle to that generosity, becomes an obstacle to your actual generosity. And it's saying that when someone who has not reached the path of seeing, someone who is not a superior, is engaging in ethical discipline and then speaks faulty of others who are not keeping theirs intact, then this becomes also a cause for loss of faith for beings, and a cause for falling into the miserable realms of cyclic existence. So speaking even while you are holding ethical discipline yourself, and then being looking down on others who you feel aren't keeping this specific vow or that specific vow or behavior. So that's what is meant there. They lose faith and fall in miserable realms on the account of their loss of faith. And when these ordinary people maintain patience and the like, they speak disparagingly of those who do the opposite of these, so obstruct their own ethical discipline. So their negative emotions, which are mixed in with these seemingly positive acts, actually turn them into acts that are cause for the lower realms, or cause for what the opposite, the mitunsho, the opposite of what would normally be. So these acts act in almost like against. They act against our generosity, act against, or are the opposite of. They are opposite of our. They oppose our. These become opposition to our generosity, opposition to our ethical discipline when we have these emotions mixed in. Dixon.
Then me take good in Greseta. Or then you then tie about Turbane, Juma Tarshades, you then tie about Turbane, son you are Juma Najin, Somba Najin, Shagures,
The Shishido.
Ne, you then tie about Turbas, Turbat Juma Turbane, Juma Tarshades, Turbanol Karish, son you are Resena. Cheju Turbatan, Ludu Chi Tsana, Dadu Manzes, Cheju Turbatan, Pachamabatan, Turbachibina, Turbachibutan, Nashira Chibina, Nangai Shibin is a Dal Turbachiju Mares, Dadu Manzes, Dua Yuen Chuan. Jena Chan Tumburu Goa Jorosa Ne Yuen Chua Dan, Joe to Sukoloya, Kunduko Gores, Tumbana Goa Joro Yuen Sula, Nancy, Yuen Sula, Nancy, Niji Sheba Never chung zong Yuen Su Yuen Chibun Chabayina, Su Yuen Chibu Chabayina, Yuen Zula Netse, Niji Shuba, Ne Luji Shuba, Nagi Shuba to Galo, Chungo Zons, there's a Nyama de Jego Sumendo, Chungo Zon, Sheson Bataros.
So then, hence, you should do as the praise of infinite qualities says. At the times when you were learned and very intelligent, you did not praise yourself. You extolled and revered other persons who had few good qualities. When you maintained a mass of good qualities, you seized on even a small fault in your own behavior. So here, when previous, this is speaking to the correct way. This Sanjay Dupa. Praise of infinite qualities of the Buddha, right? So this Sanjay, the long, the su geche, the Sanjay. How am I saying? It's speaking about, how do I say it? Speaking about the Buddha. I just don't want to. Okay. Probably the Tanger, I would guess. Don't be sampam. Okay, so.
Yuen Taibe Deban Karasung Res da Chuji Tudan
Chu Su, the Sanjay, Chu.
Chuji da Yuen Ten can Suli in Samal Gondor.
Oh, okay, so anyone.
Yuen Ten can Chuji.
So not specific.
And Chulu Tuba Chibi in Naje Majis, Shiro Chibi in Naji Shamaji Mares, Sena, and then Nashibi is a Dal Tuba Majis, Tuba Manzela, Tuba Manzelas.
I see.
Rui Yuen Chuan, Jena Jan Ne, Tomoko Shas, Ta Yuen Chuan, Yan Job to Korea, Gondoko Res, Yuen Chuan, Jena Jan, Tomoko Sha, Go Joro. Yuen Chula Nancy, Niji Sheba, Nieba, Chungo Zons, Yuen Chiba Chabayina, Yuen Chula Nancy. Teniji Shubas, Yuen Chibu can take Juba Connecticut was never Chungo Zons, never Chungo, Susu, never Chungo, Genta was on the Mandra.
Less so. Okay, so.
She has on but that was.
Less so. So what I was asking Rinpoche, just we were talking about, is it was asking him if, in my broken Tibetan, if this is speaking to the Buddha, saying you were this, speaking of the qualities of the Buddha, or someone else. So Rinpoche said he's not sure if this text is from the Kangjur or Tanjur. So the Kangjur being the pronouncements of Lord Buddha, and Tanjur the authentic Indian commentaries. And it's written, Rinpoche is saying, to anyone proper. So it's written to practitioners. It's not written like at times when you, I asked who is the you, if that was referring to Lord Buddha, and he said you, referring to many people, those practitioners, those participants. So it says, hence you should do as the praise of infinite qualities says. At times when you were learned and very intelligent, you did not praise yourself. You extolled and revered other persons who had few good qualities. When you maintained a mass of good qualities, you seized even on a small fault in your own behavior. So the proper way, the proper practitioner has done this, has done that. So that's what I was asking Rinpoche, if this was speaking of the Buddha's qualities, and it's just praise of infinite qualities in general. So praise of holders of qualities, if you will. Not specific to a specific person. And And here it says, when you maintained a mass of good qualities, you seized on even a small fault in your own behavior. So when one's behavior, we behave through our body and through our speech. Even the smallest misbehavior is negated or disposed of, and the smallest misbehavior of one's body or speech. So here, Rinpoche mentioned body and speech as a note, didn't say mind, because it's what people observe is the behaviors of body and speech. And I believe that's all of it. 205. Ngait Sampa Diksa.
Jiba Taro. Ta jiba yun tayu to ba.
Conjure. Ngait Sampa conjure. Ga.
O de ta ngaba de tenbi samba meba ne. Tenbi samba meba. Tenbi samba den ma henda want to jimba meba was. What the henda what the jimba ta ge na le kida chu yung re sa ne. What the ju ma song de sa.
Less so.
Tenbi samba meba ne henda want to ne. Den ga jimba ta ge henda chu yung re kida chu yung re.
Less
Ne jimba ta ju ma re song de sa. Re jimba meba was.
Okay, so now we get, that was all number 3. Now we move on to number 4. Number 4 is a motivation for support. Lacking this means that you do not give with the hope of getting praise or fame. So I'm engaging in this generosity, so I become very famous. So I'm looked at. So this is the incorrect motivation for support. So basis of motivation is another way to translate it. Den, the basis of motivation. Diksung,
Drupa de Shombi Samba Mebanes, Shombi Samba Meba. When the Jimbaton so what the same as Shonju Maris, Shombi Samba Mebane, and Ting Hune Chang, Yigashi, Jimbitse, and Tong Shela, Shine Chang, Joba Mebatan, Shansen Jimba, Shinto Jachawa Nam. 推囊也想把每些钱到了切度说吧，到了切度说吧，每些吧，主要我是我打的呢，我这是个多打，兄弟上班没吧？人把当的三兄弟嘛的，兄弟上班没吧？的看这是呢，兄弟上班没吧呢？人把马当用眼呢。我呢讲，一个人把妈妈当我呢三个不起我的是个不，人把当了个不，个性是人比这，人比这当完些了是，人比这呢人把对不起我是温度，当完些了，现在讲绝不买吧，现在对的我对俺家了妈妈现在说绝不解决嘛的是，绝不买吧当是，想生几人吧。新都加切瓦囊，推囊是上山就流龙去，他们流行上的，我的那个人把当都是个推囊，也想把每些件事推囊，但我人把的那个当多少嘛的是，山里想把解决嘛的是，到了切都说吧，没些吧，主要票我啥，到了些说嘛些吧现在，那人把了主要，人把了搞不要把的也别我的是，别我。
Okay, so now we're on number... Ngapa ya?
Ngapa tsare. Henda won't
Jipa Den. Jipa Den. Charan Sompa.
Then maybe somebody ngapa wrong. Ngapa re.
Oh, that's
Henda won't do the
Tambo de Yanjer Surana. The Re Gangin Sinang Sampa Ngatsu the Jipa Lepson. Then Gats Tambo. The then I missed some. There's something I don't want to miss anything. Tambo the Dawa Nipa Nipa Namgyal Dandra Sumba the Lonlang Lonlang Jipa Den the Ngapa.
Henda won't do the mares. Reyu Mejin Boss. And the Druba, Shumba maybe Samba. Shumba maybe Samba Druba.
The Danyom?
Three Hune Jansa. Jimbatan Jala de Lulong Jela Jela Mati Ngene. Jevata Gabuji Gures.
Danyom.
Gajins. Jimbitse. Tawan Shelas. Jibata Jimbala Teba Shegures. Shine Jan Joba Maba Shegures. Joba Jang Duku Jimba de Bedel Junjin Uruta. Joba Maba Dan Shansen Jimba Shidu Jachewa no Tunans. Dam Lujin La Subi. Shansen Jimba Jachewa no Tunan. Yishumba Majins, Senshumba Maba Shegures. Dala Chedu Suba Majeba. Drobios. Susu Chedu Soju Maris. Jimaton Gabu de Abegures, Drobio Bio.
And then Ngapa Dang Drupa.
The Druba.
Okay. Drupa Tsar de.
The Druba.
Okay, so number 5 and 6, I think that number 4, where it says number 4 in our English, is actually split into 2 categories in Jayan Sheba's commentary. If I've made a mistake, I apologize. We'll go back, and Rinpoche will go back over it. So number 5, a motivation of discouragement. Lacking this means that when you give after becoming joyful, even after the act of giving, you are filled with faith and have no regret after giving. Then number 6, even when you hear about a bodhisattva's vast acts of generosity, you are not discouraged, but intensify your enthusiasm. That's it, enthusiasm without belittling yourself. Number 5 is that you have this joy that you have from engaging in generosity that is free of regret. You think these are just things. I don't mind to give them. You don't have some feeling about these things. You are very joyful in giving them. And then it says, and when you hear about a bodhisattva's vast acts, we hear the previous life stories of the Buddha, the generosity of the body, the Buddha giving generosity of the body, as the translators know, in Nepal when he gave his own flesh to the tigers. So engage in the generosity of the body, giving the body. So it says, when you hear about a bodhisattva's vast act of generosity, you are not discouraged, but intensify your enthusiasm without belittling yourself. So you don't think, I am no one. You are intensified your desire to engage in generosity. It doesn't discourage you in thinking, I can't do that. I'm not like that. I'm not good enough. You think in terms of encouragement that I can and become joyful in your quest, in your goals. Okay, Diksun.
That doing but the judge should be somebody members. Judge somebody member the tango do so. Daniela, Tameba non, Tameba Nala, Shuri member, Nubi Hiji Jimbawos, Daniel Tameba Nalas, Dradanyeta, Nebama son to Tameba Nala. Shuri meba, Nielaga, Daldan, and Bama Yavando, Tanji Maris, Daniel Bama Sombe, and Senyaba Gures, Daniel Tameba, Nala, Tamewa Nala, Shuri meba, Senyobi, Hiji Jimbawos, Hiji Kunala, Daniel Lulong Jimbatan Gures, Jimbawo. Okay,
so number 7 is a motivation in which you turn your back on someone. Lacking this means that you give out of an even-minded compassion that is impartial towards enemy, friend, and ordinary person. So these, again, are the 3 types of beings, friends, enemies, and neutrals, that are recipients of our generosity. And it's saying that we have an even-mindedness, an equanimity in relation to them, that we don't give one to more than the other. So we have this impartiality, an even-minded compassion. So our giving of our body and our things, the giving of our body and things should be given without any partiality. So friends, enemies, and neutrals would receive these things, and our giving is unbiased. Decent. That's number 7. Less so.
What the Connecticut Paribu Penshu Rene Don't me but de Paribu Gen Pajimbaton Sejin Genlaju or somebody Mabaji Gures don't me but de Junam de Pombatans Juna de Daniel Bomasum Congola dog pond du ores CB me Tibatan Dungan see to me batan Rajeji Dungan Tunchirosa. What about the Jebadre Jeba? Paribu Pendu Jebatan du Lulong Jebatan itself, and the Pajitan Chinema de Jungres and San Tanju Mares, Paribu Pendus Rene, Don't me but de Juna. And the Jembaton de Jugal dog pond you are, and a Dungagna you are, de pond Dungagina. Juna de Pombatan, CB made Siba, CB made Sibas and the charge made Sibatan, Dunga Tomeba, Dunga is a Kurutu Toyo Mares. Rajiji Dunga, Rajiji Dunga.
The Gare, Ranjin Dunga. Don't the Gare.
Raji Dunga, Sajet Tanji Dunga was at the Indo. Sajet Tanji Dunga. Rajiji Dunga was what about the Jebare?
Okay, so number 8, a motivation of expecting something in return. Lacking this means that you do not give to others out of the hope that they will give. Lacking this means that you do not give to others out of the hope that they will help you, but because you see that these things beings are bereft of happiness, burned by the flames of craving, without the power to relieve their sufferings, and naturally miserable. This is, we engage in some sort of generosity, give something because we want to get something. So we give to get. This is an improper motivation. We should be wishing to get rid of the sentient being's happiness. I'm sorry, suffering. Let me see. Okay, so the correct motivation is you see that the happiness has been abandoned by these beings, so you want to bring them to a state of happiness. So you see that they don't have happiness. And you see that they are in craving or attached. And it says, without the power to relieve their sufferings, without the power to actually take away their suffering. And it says, naturally miserable. I asked Rinpoche what naturally miserable was referring to. And when we see the 4 turns, we see the all contaminated, sache tamche dugnelwa, all contaminated things are suffering. So here, naturally miserable is referring to that. All contaminated things are suffering. Within the truths, we find this as one of the attributes among the 16 as a note. This naturally miserable refers to the natural state of contamination, contaminated things being suffering. Digsong, Jepa, then a Gupa.
Ta Gupa namela re samba members. Ne jimba pa jimba tana ne jema ya mata lai tenzo ya bu tugure lonjo samba. Ne roa me ba chi gures. Namela re samba members. Shemala long, Jewa Shemale, 네, 내가 지금 당연히 저시만 농쇼 집에 온 거래. 르편송 집에 온 거래서. 어떤 상당주에 말했어. 지금 당는 농쇼 용도 용 거래. 그 농쇼 용 거래 상당고 말했어. 심말라 농쇼 당 르편송 집에 남일라와 메테스. 남이 되는 용 거래서 너와 매바지 고래서. 너와 메테. 뒤에 단지는 해보 매바다. 뒤에 단지는 남일 시작이 되는 로아 제고 뒤에 단지 네 해보 뒤에 단지는 해보 매바다. 라나메비 샤추라 펜도 통이셔로사. 뒤에 단지 해보 매바다. 라메 샤추라 펜 통바 인자 안 상로도 용고래스.
Okay, so number 9, a motivation of expecting fruition. Lacking this means that you do not hope for the fruition of an excellent body and resources in future lives, but give because you see all composite things are without substance, but can contribute to unexcelled enlightenment. So here it's saying that the goal, you should be doing this because this will be part of the collection to you becoming a Buddha. This should be the motivation for doing it, not for so that in my next life may I have a nice body and wealth or resources. If you engage in generosity, they will come, but you shouldn't have the thought or motivation that you're doing it for these reasons. Whether they come or they don't come, I will engage in generosity. So this is what is meant here. The results should be long-term results in terms of ultimate Buddhahood, as opposed to short-term results, which are in next life's body, next life's resources, and so forth. So you should think that these things I'm doing will contribute to my enlightenment, not to my body and my wealth in my next life. So this is number 9. Gupa Tsar.
Chupa. Maybe Rawa Pontes, maybe. Maybe Rawa de Ponte, Jimbatan Gures, Toanesa. Negos and Debutta, Rawa Gubatan, Negos, no, the Jimbatan and Debutta Ungurisama, Rawa Jeju Maris and Google. Ale. Negosu Debutta la. Rawa Guba, Negos, Rawa Guba Mages, Negos and Debutta Rawa Guba Mage, Sibi Luton Lonshe Tan La, Tujan Zebon Guba Wosa. That Rawa Gusa, the Negos and Debutta La, Rawa Guba Mares, Guba Mages, Sibi Kui Luton Lonshe Tan La, Tujan Zebon Guba Res. Le dans l'enjeu. Le sénat, le dernier mot, on couche le drabata. Le jet, ne que le l'enjeu da, ne quoi parce qu'on la, ne ça que cinquante la soba de l'enjeu marbe, de deux la soba. L'enjeu dans la, troisième zéro, l'enjeu dans la, troisième zéro goubas, l'enjeu dans tout n'a dégo marbata. Ne que là dans mes deux tout da tout goure, des ans tout n'a. 네, 아주 대단 루트고 말어. 다좀바 토고래 상제고래 대상지 토 리고 말해서.
Ale. Okay, so I ran the Jupa.
The Jupa.
Okay, so I ran together 10, 9, and 10. So number 9, the break point on number 9 is a motivation of expecting fruition. Lacking this means that you do not hope for the fruition of an excellent body and resources in future lives, but give because you see all composite things are without substance, but can contribute to unexcelled enlightenment. That's the break point there. And then number 10, this does not stop you from expecting these results in the short term, but stops you from taking the mere body and resources of cyclic existence to be your goal. So that's number 10. Then Juchi.
Le même point you connais j'ai pas tant le bien mélange de point you connais j'ai pas tant de net un douze j'ai pas tant non
okay I'm not
jabu soji to be jian de xian ko de shon na nya do lo chu san ba me ba tant ça ta ngai wo de j'ai pas tant que na Jabusuji, and Jimbatan to be gent, Shene, and Niago Yongres on the San Koju Mares, go to Shona, Hanto,
go to
Lotu Samba, Shona, San Lotu in Barbada, Lotu Samba Mebadans, Lotu Samba Meba,
livelihood, lesser.
Even your tunes, Jimba Matan, even your tune, Mejimbatans. Even good tune, that Jimbatan so Ludon Mebachana Grota. Ludon Jibatana, and then Ludon Meba in the Gretan, Jubber in the Grova, the sun down there, and the Jimbat Matanga in the Jerota. Even good tune, Ludon Jibatana, Jubachagres, tune, Mejimbatansa. Huabola, Hui Sambatan, Huabola, then Hui Gokudan, Sambatan, Magawadan, Huabola Magawadan, Trubadan, Senabra Iwan, Senabra Iwan, Mebadanza. Huabi, Ludu, Natuji, Joa Mebadans, Huabag Ludu, what they are. Dujan Damadat and Lova in out there. Rondins, Huabi, Ludu, Natuji, Joa Meba Gures, Joa Meba, Ran Lola Subi, Huabi, Jen Toyans, Huabi, Ran Logoyabaina, Jen Toyangela, Ruby Samba Meba, quit and the Chigadusan, Jen La Joa Mares, Ruby Samba Meba dance. Jenji Katrando Matuba, Jenji Katrando Matuba, Jimba Susu Len Debo, Susun Jungwan, Yichin Jimba Wosa, Chu Jimba Sansiki Jimba Mejibi Jimba, to Susu Len Debo, Susu Yungres, to Yungate, Yichi Lenela Yichine, and the Jimba Tangures.
Lesser, okay. Okay, so now number 11, which completes the 11 categories, is, besides these, you should give without the motivation of wrong livelihood, in which you think, if I make this gift, the ruler, etc., will recognize me as a generous person and I will get some respect. Do not give from fear of becoming poor or with the motivation to deceive someone who asks for something. I don't have time now. I'd like to go back and look at the Tibetan. It says, do not give from fear of becoming poor. It might read, actually, do not fear becoming poor because of giving. But I'd have to look back. But just bear in mind, it might say that. Give something when you are free from... do not give from fear of becoming poor or with the motivation to deceive someone who asks for something. Give something when you are free from distraction and feelings of dislike or anger. Make gifts when you are not dispirited due to the various wrong actions of the one who asks for something. Even when you see the faults of someone who has deceived you, etc., do not give with the motivation to proclaim these faults to others. Finally, give in the belief from which others cannot dissuade you that each individual act of giving will give rise to an individual result. So when we look at the individual acts of giving, and we look at the various categories, we see that there are three: the giving or the generosity or giving dharma, the generosity or giving fearlessness, and the generosity or giving material things. So each of these different generosities that we engage in give rise to their individual concordant results. There are the variety of causes giving rise to the variety of results. The variety of individual acts of generosity give rise to the variety of individual results, or variety of results. Okay.
Shooting the Dundo Yungres, change it there. Nizobin down there, Zuzon Yungres, Jambej, Jundu was the Ziji was a man. Zobin on the Jambej, Santan J, send you, she do what the Santan Dribble. And the young was she double draw the shadow dribble. What does look on turn on Danda Jimba to let them on with Jimba Jimba.
That's so.
That does look law and could you is. Sure, could you do it? Could you is? 다도 ngoju inse to maro kujuro kujula chunze kuju ta shedu kuju ni yoro chunze kuju ngodu ki ta na la tene rutu maro shedu kuju res shedu kuju marba.
So we find so these are this is the first among the 6 perfections, the perfection of generosity. And we see that each of the perfections gives rise to individual results or in even general results. And we find in Nagarjuna's Precious Garland, where it states that from giving there arises wealth, from ethics happiness, from patience a good appearance, from effort virtue brilliance, or also charisma. I've seen that translated as from effort comes charisma or presence. From concentration, peace, from wisdom, liberation, from compassion, all aims are achieved. So this is what it states. So this statement that's made here, what would it categorically fall under? If we look at the various types of phenomena, we have manifest phenomena and we have hidden phenomena. And within the categories of hidden phenomena, we have just general, regular hidden phenomena and then extremely hidden phenomena. So it isn't manifest phenomena, and then we would say, okay, is it hidden phenomena? Because this reality of the 6 perfections corresponding to these 6 results can't be realized through dependence upon a sign, it means that it falls categorically under extremely hidden phenomena, and as a translator's note, must be realized through inference, through belief. So this is the Dixon.
What Jimmy Shindu and Debutu Galo Shindu Kuji is a Shindu Kujo. So the Kujula, Kashi, the Jejua, the Tubanite, the Nikona Ishishas, Tony Lasso, Madu down and Shesasuna, then Jimmy Lonse teach it as a Shindu Kuju to Galo, the Yichina, Shindu res, Sudan, Marajela, Jesubaba. Nandemar.
No, Jitapa or Nandra? Lunkagi? Okay, so we find in the Arya Deva's 400 verses where it says, let me just stop there. When we look at the 6 perfections and their individual results, we'll see that this falls categorically under extremely hidden phenomena. And in Arya Deva's 400 verses, Arya Deva points out how we come to believe this or have faith in this. And it says, whoever doubts what the Buddha said about which is hidden should rely on emptiness and gain conviction in him alone. And then in Dharma Kirti's Pramanavartika Karika, we also find similar sentiments about recognizing the truths and then seeing and applying those to all the other statements that Buddha made. When we see points that are extremely hidden, which can't be realized through dependence upon a sign, we look to the other topics that can be, and then establish a belief in the other statements through belief in the statements that can be proven through logic. Okay. So today, how do you translate? So today, Venerable Lobsang Tenzin has arrived, our founder. So we're very honored to have you here today, Lobsang La. Lobsang La has been so beneficial to many people in making the sand mandalas, and he has many excellent qualities. Also a scholar of the texts. Okay, so we'll end there. Today's a very special day, and we'll do the concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer in the prayer book. And this prayer book has grown quite a bit, but many of the prayers that we do are all prayers that Venerable Lobsang La told us to put in our prayer book. So we talk about dependent origination, and we see how that really has worked. We have people here who are here in the beginning, people who have just come here, but all of this has to come together in order for it to happen. So thank you again Lobsang.
Before closing, I'll say a few words to all of you, the members and friends. This is like a dream come true for Rinpoche, and so this center was founded in '94, and so I have a chance to come to here at Trinity College in '94, and have a chance to do a Zen Mandala at the '94 at the Trinity College, and receive a honorary doctorate degree from Trinity College, and so forth, so on. And meeting before coming here in '94, I met a woman named Adele, who are here lived and at the time in Hartford, Connecticut. So she was very much her background is Judaism, but she really wanted to have a center in Hartford and here in this region. Due to her help, due to her motivation, desire, and we opened here, which we are a center now here. So this is my trip beginning '94 and '95 and '96. I have a chance to have many times to attain from here at the our center, I would say our center, and my home base in Philadelphia. And so long story short, Jeb knows very much about the story, and I'm sure you know the history of this center. And so I have been visiting here and giving a little training for Jeb. I'm so impressed. Your Tibetan Jeb is excellent, really. And what you have here is an excellent teacher, Rinpoche here. I said that many times in the past, and I'm happy to share with you, and some are probably know well about this gentleman, Rinpoche. If some of don't know, he is one of the best teacher, I would say, in the United States, or I really mean it. But something what we're doing here today, for example, this is how we study in myself, and when he was young, this is how we study in Buddhist philosophy in the monastery. So what are you doing here, even though, it's a deep subject, and this is worthwhile, this is how to study Buddha Dharma in the West. This is how we build the Buddha Dharma in the United States. Not the channels, not the chakras, not the blue lights, but this is it. This is how you need to build. So I'm so happy to see all of you. And the reason me and Sujang came this trip to meeting him every once in a while, meeting you every once in a while. And one of the founder, Adele, was passed away a couple of weeks ago, and today was her memorial services. And here in Harvard, somewhere in the church. So another reason I came here for pay respect to her. This is her dream, and so thank you so much. You're all doing so excellent, and I'm really thankful, of course, to Rinpoche and Jeb, his devotion, and the people like you, and a lot of changes happened, the members and friends, and for me, most of you are new except the Jeb and new faces. So last night, I'm meeting some of the core group who in the beginning, women named Barbara and Sue, and number of people core number of people who I met last night. We talked about the history of the center, and so this is so happy to be here today, this morning, me and Sujang. So thank you, Rinpoche, again. Long life, many long life. And I'll keep asking, so due to his health, we, TBC, among this center, there are three branches. I always felt that. Here, center in Connecticut, the Chenrezig Center, Philadelphia Center, and El Paso Center, in Texas, El Paso Center. So these are the three branches who I have participated right in the beginning. So you do have a sister or brother, or what do you call it, in Philadelphia. Anytime you have a chance to visit, please come visit there. And also El Paso, Texas, which I'm going next week. So thank you, Jeb. Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you, all of you.
So I don't think we do. No, we didn't. Okay, concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losang Drakpa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well, with whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traversed 3 times. I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness, all-powerful Avalokiteshvara Tenzin Gyatso. May you stay until samsara's end. I pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wandak, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Geshe Rinpoche Guti Shapi Denunang Atsu Lamrim Chenmo Kanga Chirona.